We're all going to have a fight, see who wins.
Shut up, come here.
That's there.
You know the rules, you're allowed 2 car changes, alright? I will be lenient with this, alright? Okay? If after a second car, you're still not happy with it, alright? I will let you have a third car change, alright? If you check the flag drops, you're not allowed to retest that car. I will give you every opportunity to use, as I did in race 1, the infield section, yeah? Obviously the pack's going to come round, you're going to meet the pack somewhere, yeah? But I will give you a chance to test that car, yeah? That's not an open book for you to come in to go through every car, yeah, and take the piss, yeah? Good luck to all 4 of you.
Good luck, boys. If you can't make it fair, make it entertaining.
Well, the conditions didn't look too bad in the pit lane. Now we're out on track, you can just see how bad it is. Standing water everywhere, it is raining. Well, after the chit-chat in the pits, perhaps it's worthwhile looking at how this really stacks up with the sums. It's a little bit complicated. 4 drivers come into the last round with a chance of winning the championship. Jamie Jenkins needs to win this race and hope something breaks his way. Kieran McCullough could afford to finish second, but that would require Garford and Ingram to finish outside the top 6. If Sam Garford and Phil Ingram make it into the top 6, whoever finishes ahead will be champion. Heat times from the first heat set the grid. Ben Yeomans has pole position from Dan Butler. From a season's best from Martin Bond, Jamie Jenkins is the highest of the contenders on grid 4. Phil Ingram starts on grid 10, just ahead of Kieran McCullough. Sam Garford has a mountain to climb from the rear of the grid in 23rd. Ben Yeomans leads across the line. Bond looking to the inside, Butler can't get in. Jenkins looking for 3rd. Oh, and Pete O'Connor's put Randall in the tyres. That'll be a penalty for Pete O'Connor if it's been seen. Charging through the puddles down to hairpin 1. It's Bond from Dan Butler. Butler coming back at him up the inside. Jenkins and Yeomans looking for 2nd. Kieran McCullough coming through as well. And Godwin's gone out. Garford's had to run wide. He's kept it going though. Into hairpin 2. Ben Yeomans has picked up 3rd place. We seem to have lost Martin Bond. Butler from McCullough, from Yeomans, Jenkins, Darren Teal, Brenton Miller, Chris Bell. Jenkins through the puddle to overtake Ben Yeomans for 3rd. Bit of contact. There's a scream of engines. Brenton Miller's gone out. Darren Teal and Ben Yeomans. It's been a dramatic opening lap to the 2nd final. All the championship contenders are running. Butler leads McCullough, Bell, Jenkins. Pete O'Connor's picked up a penalty for his attack on Trevor Randall, although he was stood on the nose of a pusher cart, so it's not going to matter. Jenkins has overtaken Chris Bell. Laucombe has tipped Bell out. I fear that's a penalty for Mark Laucombe as well. Well, in the championship, Kieran McCullough running 2nd, leads it by dint of more wins over Phil Ingram at the moment. Although that may already be out of date. That was the position at the end of lap 1. We'll take another reading at the end of lap 2. Up to pylon. Yellow flag going in. They've moved them. Simon straight on the attack. Passing Tim Hill. And Martin Bond's going to have a piece of the action as well. That's the fight for 8th place. Simons passes Allwood into the pit bend. Bond takes his opportunity as well. Over start finish. Phil Ingram is 3rd. Ahead of Jamie Jenkins. Mark Laucombe has been excluded from the result. That's his 2nd offence. And the championship position has changed noticeably. Ingram now is in the lead by 2 points from Sam Garford. Kieran McCullough is down to 3rd. Jenkins is overtaken by Ingram. It's moving to Phil Ingram. Lister, Bond, Allwood, Hill fighting out over 8th place. Oh, and Hill's dropped a wheel off. Simons looking for grip and finding water. Sam Garford can't afford to hang around here. Butler pulling clear of Kieran McCullough in the lead. Dan Butler's got a 3-second lead. He's come alive in the last few rounds of the championship. What might have been if it was a 5-round championship. He'd probably be champion if he keeps this up. McCullough's comfortable in second. Ingram's pulling clear of Jenkins. Lowcombe, we can ignore him. Sam Garford is 5th. And that's not enough. And he looks as though he's going to lose it as well to Stu Simons. Coming in the pylon. Look at the water, the search for grip. Tram lines through the puddles. No worries for Dan Butler. He's pulling clear. He's over 3 seconds ahead of Kieran McCullough. Jenkins can do nothing about Ingram. Sam Garford's got his hands full with Stu Simons. Well, there's precious little Kieran McCullough can do now. He needs Phil Ingram and Sam Garford to fall off to stand any chance of winning the championship. I think for Jamie the game's already up. And Sam Garford's going to have to find some gears if he means to overhaul Phil Ingram ahead of him, and he will if he wants to win the championship. His hands at the moment are full of Stu Simons. He tips in over the top into pylon. He can afford to take a chance. Stu Simons is through to 5th. Garford back to 6th. And he doesn't look as though he's got much left in the tank. The lead is now 3 points, and Garford's in danger of losing second in the championship to Kieran McCullough. Well, Sam's closed in on Stu Simons. Kieran using more of a rudder to turn there than the steering wheel. Whoa, and Simons got his wheels on the paint. That nearly chucked him off. It's the kind of brake Sam Garford needs. Although admittedly he needs a bigger one. One that will tow him up to Phil Ingram and past. You'll have to look to the heavens and all you'll see is rain. Battle for 13th place. Allwood, Powell, Pethick. Pethick puts a move on Powell. Will he come back at him? No. Lightweight champion from last year, Pethick, adjusting to premiers. Pretty good. Second final. He's looking fairly imperious, Dan Butler. It looks as though he's heading for a win. It'll be his 3rd of the season. They've all come in the last 3 rounds. Sam Garford is doing all he can and actually is losing ground to Stu Simons. Well, the championship's gone for Jamie Jenkins. Will he step aside in the hope of letting Sam Garford through? It's a possibility. Simons moves past on track Mark Lowcombe. He's already 5th with Lowcombe excluded. Not to harp on about it, but it does mean that Sam Garford is actually 6th. Not that Sam will probably realise that as he looks over his shoulder and he'll see Pete O'Connor, somebody else driving with a penalty, behind him. The gap to McCullough from Butler is now 6 seconds. He's 3 seconds ahead of Phil Ingram, who's got a similar margin over Jamie Jenkins. Simons wobbling his way into hairpin 1 again. 3 seconds ahead of Sam Garford. Jenkins takes a look. I think he's looking for Sam Garford. And there's no point. Oh, Brenton Miller's had enough. I think that was Brenton pulling his cart into the pit lane. Simons looking to move through to demote Jenkins from 4th place. Simons trying to get past on the main straight, pulls back into the slipstream. and the plume of spray. Jenkins goes defensive. Simon's looking for grip and traction. McCullough's holding Ingram. I think he may even be pulling away again. Simon's up the inside at the hairpin. Goes in tight, he'll be slow out. And that's enough to demote Jenkins from 4th in the championship. He's now behind Dan Butler in the lead. Jenkins needs to fight back if he wants 4th. Whoa, and Simons has gone a long way and through a huge puddle. A plume of spray as water hits the hot engine. Jenkins now looking to tip inside at the last corner. He's done it, but Simons has got better drive. That's enough to put Jenkins back into 4th in the championship. Oh, and Simons has made a mistake. Lost a bit of ground. And having Mark Lowcombe overtake Stu Simons has probably done Jamie a favour. Sam Garford's getting none here. Now he's got Pete O'Connor on his bumper. Remember, O'Connor, after clashing at the start with Trevor Randall, was parked just about there, waiting for a pusher car to restart him, so he's come up from the back of the field. It's a shame he hadn't stayed on and not committed a penalty, because he looks about the fastest thing on the circuit. Tipping in over the top of Garford, and Garford can't afford to take him out. Will he know that he's already got a penalty? Well, Peter made a hand gesture there. I wonder if that's him trying to tell him that I'm not your competition, try and follow me. But it won't be enough. Phil Ingram is just 2.5 laps away from a first Club 100 sprint title. He was a runner-up in 2007. That's why he carries the number 2 plate. Well, if he can keep it going and on the black stuff, he'll be carrying the number 1 plate in 2009. Penultimate lap for Dan Butler. He's still pulling further ahead of Kieran McCullough. It's 7 seconds. So let's catch up on some racing. This is the battle for 12th place. Ben Yeomans, remember, he went off here at Pylon when Brenton Miller span off with Darren Teal. He's now up to 12th. It's Stu Simons, the fastest man on the track. Darren Teal has been lapped. Phil Ingram is 3rd. He's 10 seconds behind the leader. 4 seconds ahead of Jamie Jenkins and Stu Simons. With Simons setting the fastest lap, he's closing in again on 4th place. There's not much movement from Sam Garford. He's able to hold station and not much else. Will Stu Simons put a spanner into Jamie Jenkins' race for 4th in the championship? I can't imagine it's very high on Jamie's priority list to finish 4th. All it gets you is the number 4 plate he already has. Here comes Stu Simons, wearing 5, up the inside. That puts Butler back into 4th in the championship. Jamie cuts inside really tight and takes it back with a great move in stadium. Well, this is really just for fun. Or is he trying to slow Stu Simons down to push him back towards Sam Garford? I can't believe that's the case. Sam's too far back anyway. This is the final lap of the 2008 Premier Sprint Championship. Dan Butler is going to win, but the champion is going to be Phil Ingram. He's got 1 more corner to go now. If I was Murray Walker, I could see he could put the clutch in and coast home, but this is direct drive. Phil Ingram is the champion.
never been so nervous in my life.
And testimony from Steve, never gives up, drives the wheels off every car and hardly ever changes his car. Second place, Mr. Sam Goffin. Taking that extra step, and it is third time lucky for, I'm sure, a very popular champion. Moving up to 2009, that will be Phil Ingram.